Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's cause he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? We about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go! At the money, now you're raw, what you getting in? Perfect Plex Radio, got them listening. Mike Knoxxx, from Cena to The Rock, or whatever wrestler is hot. News and interviews, it's a one-stop shop. Matter of fact, let me give you more choices. You can call in and be the voice with the voiceless. So what you waiting on? Let's get it cracking. Let's talk wrestling, that's enough rapping. Perfect Plex Radio. Simply, we about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go!
And it's Monday, people, so you know what that means. Welcome to Unpopular Reviews, the Mike Knoxxx Show, Perfect Plex Talk Radio, and I am yours truly. You know my name. I say it all the time. I put it everywhere like I can't read or I can't see or I'm forgetful. Who knows? But it's like this year in pro wrestling. Has it been forgetful or has it been memorable, people? Listen, welcome to the program, the shows, pros, and ayatollahs and rock and rollers listen to right here, the longest running podcast in wrestling history. I'm calling it right now. Don't like it? Check it out. Google me. David Ontucker could be in movies. He's getting his back blown out by She-Hulk, but I can't say Google me because he don't use it no more. I'm going to take it. So how about that, people? Listen, welcome to the show. Oh, this is a good show tonight, guys. I am so excited about this show today because I'm going to talk this week in wrestling, right? No, that's not what makes me so excited. I'm excited because I'm bringing back the top 10 list, people. The top 10 pure wrestlers of all the times. And speaking with my co-host, backstage, holding me down all the time, King Vaughn Jr. 720 on the Twitter, I started saying, you know what? Everybody's mama who cooks really good Thanksgiving meals and, Thanksgiving meals, and I said that already, right? But like Christmas meals, every meal your mama cooked that you like, that's everybody nowadays, right? Like everybody got a list. But I've always said, what does your list stand for? What does it mean? Why did they 1, 2, 5, and 7 and 10? Why? Explain it to me. And so I've done it again with the power of the internet. No, the power of my own damn mind. So my mama gave birth to me and I got my own brain. Okay, but you do use Google when you forget shit. All right, let's keep it being a bean. So today, we're going to talk top 10 pure wrestlers. I'm going to tell you why they're on the top 10 pure wrestling list. I wrote it down, people. I wrote it down. All right. Also on this program, the year in wrestling. What has it been? Has it been good? Has it been bad? I mean, we got Roman is still the champion, but some people still, shout out to Wrestling Doll, she hates Roman Reigns. I don't know how you can hate Roman Reigns, whatever, go figure. But hey, she got Imperium back in the WWE, and they have been rocking and rolling ever since. So shout out to Charmaine right here on Unpopular Review. Not Charmaine, Wrestling Doll or Barbara, but shout out to Charmaine as well. But also on the day, people, listen. See, what people don't understand is that there's a thing that I value more than anything. And it's called friendship. It's called loyalty. It's called trust. It's called understanding. It's called forgiveness, people. Like the mega powers, you put the hand out. Ah! What you gonna do? I don't know you. But today, y'all know him, and I'll bring him back today for this episode, a great episode today, right here on the Mike Knoxxx Show. We bring back the Z is Silent podcast. Y'all thought it couldn't happen? Well,
Hello, people. Did you miss me? Did you miss your boy, the almighty dive man, a.k.a. Mr. Z is Silent, a.k.a. the apprentice of Thanos, a.k.a. the Shang Tsung of this wrestling debate shit. You come from me, your soul is mine, a.k.a.
You got it.
Big champ in the chat. Kith, for those not in the know, a.k.a. your mama's favorite daddy. El Daddy-O.
That's the only problem I have with everything you say. Because God damn it, they call me daddy. Okay. El Capitan, El Jefe. Okay. Anything but El Diablo, but I got you with everything else. How you doing, brother? Welcome back.
Oh man, I am blessed. Let me just say first and foremost, I miss all of you guys. I still tune into the show, so I do see your comments. I miss all of you guys. We're coming to a end in 2022, and 2023 looks amazing. Amazing. It's redesign, rebuild, reclaim. So, 2023 is going to be really great. So,
welcome back. Listen, excuse me. Let me clear my throat. Today, the year in wrestling, like so you said, it's been big, and I went back and I looked, and this is where you do have to use Google, okay? Because I forget stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm old. All right, so I'm gonna keep it real. So I had to go back and look, and it's a lot of stuff that happened in this year, bro. Like a lot of wrestling stuff. So we're going to do the year review in wrestling, just where we thought about it, where it is, where it's going. You just talked about it, how we're coming to the end of 2022. 2023 is here. I mean, Jesus, I've been saying since, I don't know, 2019, it's going to be The Rock and Roman Reigns, and then COVID happened. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's favorite, you call them, you said your favorite daddies, not all the people who ain't daddies, who are poppies, and not poppies, but like whatever killed everybody, little and small. And all of a sudden, now everybody want to say that that's going to happen. Duh.
You know what? Why are you on that? Why are you on that right now? I'm going to tell you the most annoying thing. The most annoying thing that I keep seeing, and I promise you, this is like the most annoying concept is.
I don't know which one you're going at because so many of them. So many.
What makes real quick? Let's go through the victims of the Isle of Relevancy, right? Daniel Bryan, Edge, Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens.
You better throw Kevin in there.
I mean,
has he touched Bobby yet?
No, he's never faced Bobby.
Okay.
That's the only. That's why I kept saying for months, if there is anybody believable, I think you have to look at a Brock Lesnar. And then what's the next best thing do we have besides his power and speed? Bobby Lashley. Right? For some reason, people think that scrawny Cody Rhodes is going to be the one to take. How? I don't see it.
Because I really it's professional wrestling. Did we see Rey Mysterio beating Big Show?
Oh, and what we thought was his greatest. We say his greatest competitor next to Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins couldn't even do it, and he played the best mind games with him. So why would I think that somebody
Roman technically cheated to beat him, though? Roman did cheat to beat.
Okay.
Well, he cheats a lot, so that's not fair. But this time he really cheated. Like, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Not behind referees back the whole 9 yards. But we're gonna talk about the year in wrestling and just real fast. It's just what they call the quid pro quo. Am I saying that? First of all, shout out to the Wrestling Marks of Excellence, Dr. D and the firm. Shout out to all the people holding on the DMV page. They all in wrestling tonight because wrestling's in DC. That's why Vaughn's doing it from afar to know this week in wrestling because he's like at wrestling. Okay, shout out to the Wrestling Hit Factor Radio. Shout out to everybody, like I said, been holding me down in all these years. Appreciate it. Dice, you there? Yeah. Okay, they're coming back to focus. Coming back. Okay. There you go. All right, listen. So this week in wrestling, though, I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I know he's going to go off on a tangent. Y'all haven't heard him. So that's cool because I ain't got the blood to bust with the bus this week. But I thought Raw was pretty good. We knew that Roman wasn't going to show up, right? But it was just okay to me, pretty good. It was just like I felt like they kind of threw that away, and I am digging what they're doing with the ladies on Raw. But for me, Raw was, and here we are a week later, it was a blah moment. Then I also think that SmackDown was also kind of blah because I'm sorry, I cannot take one more person coming back to wrestling. Why do we have Tegan Knox? I don't care at this point. Like I never ever comment on like woke cultures. Posts and stuff like that. I never do. I either like or I don't do anything. I'm not the kind of person that does that kind of stuff. But today they had a thing about the 10 wrestlers who are mad at Vince McMahon, and it's proof. Isn't it common sense to say if you're like somebody who had a push, who doesn't have a push now, like Shanky, for instance, you could be kind of mad. But I'm like, Shanky, you wasn't going nowhere with that. Your guy with the hair, come help me. We said he would sell hair. Veer, he should be a little mad. They're gonna say, like, I'm just looking at this list, like, come on, guys, like, what are you guys doing these days?
Veer.
Like, you were incredible. You had credible stuff. This is incredible. What's credible is what they're giving us, and I just can't take it no more. Triple H, I've been nice to you for months and months and years, but the last couple of weeks I gotta call a spade, Triple H. I don't know what the hell you're doing right now. Even when it comes to this super slow burn, although I'm digging it because I'm a slow burning wrestling fan with Bray Wyatt. It's like, come on. It's like, I feel like you're becoming AEW. And then speaking of AEW, I'm sorry. That was the best wrestling show of the week last week. It truly, really was to me. They're both for their programming. Your guy, who I got to say it, day 2 for me, okay? Ricky Starks, okay? See the pose, Phil? Do the pose again. Do the pose. My man Phil says that's the thing that has to leave him until he loses the pose. I said that pose is what makes him. I hated it.
Nah, the pose, it grows. The pose is what it is, man. The pose is what it is.
It grows on you.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Even with the fact of now MJF, that's why I say you're gonna blow a butt vessel because I know how you feel about you off your attention to me privately. So the platform will be yours in a moment. But I love what MJF does. Again, you haven't been here, but I like the fact he's champion. I think it's too soon still. And I don't like how he won the title. And now this past week, what he does to Regal, it's now we got people backtracking saying, oh, now Regal's leaving and going to WWE. Well, I have it on some people that told me he signed a 3-year deal.
A lot of reports are saying he did it. He had an out clause.
I am hearing that there's out clauses, right? But here's the thing. Could you listen to them still? Did Busted Open say this? Because if I'm not hearing it from them, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it.
No, you know how they do. They hear it. They hear the rumblings, but they don't really acknowledge it.
Exactly.
You know, they hear it, but they don't acknowledge it though. So
I don't know.
You take it with a grain of salt.
Even if Regal's coming back and that's how they take him off TV, oh well, so what? I'm here for it. Again, I'm here for MJF, but I am going to say this before you take the floor. I am starting to believe. Or let me rephrase that. I understand your displeasure with, they better be careful with this guy. And it's just, if you know professional wrestling, insert any guy who's got it too fast, too soon. I'm going to say him right here, right now, Brock Lesnar.
Randy Orton.
There it is. Two of the biggest to do it at a young age that were a problem to deal with. This is known. This ain't a dirt sheet. Hashtag death to him. This is a known, everybody knows this. So I think they had the best show. I like what they're doing. I'm loving the fact that the trios tag. We know Kenny Omega and them are going to get the belts, but I love Death Triangle. So I'm loving those matches. I even like it.
It's been a while since we got a good best of 7 series. I mean, to me, I think the greatest best of 7 series is Booker T and Chris Benoit.
Okay. Oh, say it. I say that too. People don't. Yes, the one in WCW.
Wait. But Sheamus and Cesaro had a really good one before they became the Bar.
Right, but the one in WCW between them two, I think they redid it in WWE. But the one between them, that's right. You're supposed to call him Voldemort. That's what we call him. We don't call him by it, Voldemort. But him and Booker T, you're right. But I thought AEW was good. But again, I leave this guy on the screen for a reason, and I'll let you take the floor. They better be careful.
I agree. He's 26. But everybody in the comments, please indulge me. If you could give me 5 great MJF wrestling matches, what is a match that will stand out to you and say, take away the dog collar match? Take away the dog collar match, because everybody always wants to put this dog collar match.
You can't say take away that. That's a match, though.
Because it wasn't a wrestling match. It really was just that's not a wrestling match.
Wrestling match is a street fighter. Do you look
at MJF in the ring and you say he wrestles great?
I don't have to.
But this is the thing. He can't. Then my gripe with him is you can't come out here and talk about I am the best professional wrestler right now. Bro, I can name about 5 of them that will wrestle circles around you right now. You are one of the top characters. You're a character, and you make it so it seems like it's believable. But at this point, it's just too annoying to the fact that I can't believe it anymore. I can't believe, you can't make me think that you go out to these signings and you're this person all the time. Right, he's not blurring the lines.
That's so hard to believe. You're right, and yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
the fact that his parents call Busted Open and call him a piece of shit. Your parents ain't on this. Come on, dog. Come on. Your fiance ain't on this. Come on, dog. Like, come on. Like,
But
if we taking obviously him,
can I play that? Can I play that, Mark? But isn't that storytelling?
if Phil, I will tell you, this is not why he's the shit. Because again, at what point in time are these wrestling fans? Because wrestling fans will go through this phase where you like the characters, i.e., mid-90s WWF, right? Into the Attitude Era, you got higher characters. Into the Ruthless Aggression Era, where you got a little bit of characters, more wrestling. Later in the 2000s, you got a little bit of 50-50. 2010s, you got a lot more wrestling. Now we're back to characters. The cycle keeps going.
I love
the cycle keeps going, right? But at the same time, y'all didn't love Roman until he turns. What happens when they experiment with MJF and try to make him a face? Then you realize he really can't wrestle that well.
But a face doesn't make you wrestle, though.
But I know it doesn't. But at the same time, who would you take? Would you take The Miz in a wrestling ring, not on a microphone, or MJF?
I think they're the same wrestler in the ring. I'm the wrong person to ask that question to. I think they're exactly the same, and that's why I think he's okay with what he's doing. I don't like his attitude right now, and I think they should back it off. But I think him and Miz, I put this in a post a couple weeks ago with Miz at WrestleMania 27 against Cena. When I first started liking him, remember I always talk about that "you can hate me now" moment. But before that moment, but leading to that moment where he won this title, I think he's just above Miz on every level, and that's taking nothing from them. The difference is that Miz had WWE to say, calm down, little boy, go do your MTV stuff. And they're letting this guy go. I think they're letting him go a little bit too wild and crazy. And that's why you got to kind of pull it back, because he's kind of alienating people, right? Like Piper in his grimiest time kept something. Like he's turning on everyone. So from storyline,
I feel like
and
he
from
has
realness, it's I think it's a little bit too much. But
I feel like he's going down a Phil Brooks path right now.
Yes. I agree with that. And I'm talking about later Phil. Phil already became Phil. You know what I mean? Phil became CM Punk. He's still MJF. You know what I mean? Like some people didn't really know your whole real name, Maxwell Jacob Freeman.
But this chip that he has on his shoulder can only take me so far as trying to, I guess, invest in him as a character. Because how long are you going to keep referring to the WWE and you failed to get a look at them? How many other people failed in WWE and came back? Like, and they never talk about it, but you're using his gripe. Like, get off the nutsack.
He can't help it.
Get off the nutsack.
It's like Thanos' chin. It's like Thanos' chin. It's a nutsack.
I mean, it's just annoying to me right now. It's like, and I know that things get pushed and forced down our throats. Pause. But
I mean, what if it's a boo?
This
nothing wrong with a boo, and they're on a boo,
really
a big old Christmas boo,
like
getting shoved down your throat.
The segment that they had with him and Regal, it was like 7 to 10 minutes, bro. They took a commercial break.
It was very, very, very long. Yes, I don't think you can talk that much trash that long.
No,
that's all I'm saying. No. Like I get what you're saying, Phil. That's his job, and that's again, it's what people won't understand and won't realize. There's some things that Vince McMahon was very good at,
and they would never give his credit.
And they would never give him his credit for. And there's knowing when to pull someone back, right? It's knowing when to say enough's enough. They're giving us too much. It's like we get it's his character. We're intelligent wrestling fans. This is the show for the intelligent wrestling fan. But at some point, the crack on the take was so much beatdown of you verbally, and like that's what he's saying. To a point where you wanted Cena to go heel because he was just too much of a face. And I said a couple weeks ago, can he go face? Yeah. If they keep this up for a year, like Roman's been a year, I don't know. Right? Because the appeal eventually,
I don't think they can.
The shtick, right? He'll become a woo 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 in a second. Right? You know how I feel about Zack Ryder. Okay. So I'm just saying.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can keep this up for a year. I don't think so. Like, his character isn't evolving. It's the same person fucking over. Like, I thought the Firm was a great group for him. I thought the Pinnacle
go back
was
to that.
Fucking amazing.
Go back
the
to that,
idea of the Pinnacle. You know what the idea of the Pinnacle was? It was for all my TNA people, it was Fortune. It was the Fortune of AEW. And Fortune and TNA was a great fucking stable. they just, I mean, but you were going against Hogan and Bischoff, so it really didn't, you know, like who were sent there to fucking just kill the company.
That is the
but
that is the
pinnacle
to everybody.
The pinnacle was great. I thought the Firm was good. You needed, like, ever since the Dark Order just like disbanded and lost their steam because of rest in peace Brody Lee, you needed another big mid card faction. And I felt like the Firm felt that need. Like I love Lee Moriarty. I think he has great potential. I love Ethan Page. Like, where the hell is Scorpio Sky? W. Morrissey. I thought he had really good pieces. Then you got Malcolm Bivens as the mouthpiece right next to MJF, who's a bigger mouthpiece. So you got two mouthpieces, i.e. Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, right? And you can have a chance to build this stable up. Because remember, the bloodline, the bloodline wasn't anything. The bloodline would not exist to be what it is without main event Jey Uso. Check it. Check the year that he's had. Check the 2 years that Jey Uso has had before Jimmy came back. That man was main event Jey Uso. They didn't even look at it. They didn't even look at him as a singles competitor
because they know his name now. They know his name now.
So I just don't see it. I just don't see it with MJF though. I mean, I know it'll happen, but like him and Ricky Stark's on a crash course. Yeah, he's going to beat Ricky Stark the first time, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either because he's too big. He might actually squash him, and I don't. You know, I don't. Well, I hope they don't do that. They're not known really for doing that. But I don't like what
they're doing with Ricky because they're giving him like a Diamond Dallas Page, John, where he's always taped up and hurt all the time, and he got to barely pull himself up from the ropes. I'm like, come on, this is my guy right here. Like, come on.
And I will say this before we move on. I did forget to point out, shout out to Ricochet, who I did not think Ricochet was gonna have a chance to win that SmackDown match for that World Cup against Escobar. I really didn't.
I like Santos Escobar,
and I'm liking him too. I'm liking how they came out with the mask. And shout out to Gunther for like him beating. I didn't necessarily like him beating Kofi though, but shout out to Kofi for letting him. You know,
Kofi with the fucking.
You know, I thought
he was mocking him the whole match. Yo, that was funny, man.
So
that was funny.
What I will go into right now, though, Dice, is this list. Okay. I will go into this list because I think it's important. What the heck is that? I think it's important to go through this list because I got some things of why this list is where it is. All right. So I took some time and I took some effort. Okay. I took effort into making sure that this time I had you. Okay. And that this time I was going to do it right. Can't just make a list and check it twice and don't know if it's naughty or nice. Right? Because y'all be having these lists and they don't be nice. All right. Somebody got to tell you. I get it. Everybody got their own list. But what does your list stand for? Why is that list there? What makes it on the list? So today, like Jericho, I have a list. Dice, like to hear it? Here you go.
I would. And just off of, because I was super late getting backstage, so I don't technically have pictures or whatever, but off the top of my head, every number that you count down, I will try to give you somebody that I think is on the level or better, but in that spot.
Gotcha. Being a pro wrestler does not, nor does it take away from your ability of being a sports entertainment wrestler, but to be master of the squared circle.
Okay, because I just basing the look off of the picture that you posted.
No, right? I did that on purpose. That was a bait switch. That was bait and switch.
Okay.
Because I got no Bret Hart on the picture. No Bret. Why would we not? We know Bret.
I fell for
it. Come on, people. Come on.
I fell for it, but I fell for it because I really want to know. I'm wondering. You have Shawn Michaels up there. Shawn Michaels to me is a performer.
You'll find out.
So I'm very eager. I want to know where this goes.
And I think every list, hopefully this gets pushed around. I know Vaughn has taken this and using it for his list. We've talked yesterday. Although he's a Cowboy fan. Thank you for finally taking the pressure off the Eagles. Y'all can have the number one spot and try to win a Super Bowl. We know what you're gonna do in January. So it's
I'm done with football. I'm fucking done with football.
Well, you should be done with football. It's okay. My Super Bowl pick is messed up because of you.
Hopefully the fucking Charger will fire Staley and
you want
get
him gone
Sean Payton.
Now you want him gone.
Yeah, I mean, I like him, but like, come on, man. He's man, listen, I mean, I knew Justin Herbert threw a 35-yard bomb on 4th and 12, but we shouldn't even been in that position to be 4th and 12. So fire him, give it Sean Payton. He already wants to come over there. We reset. But anyway, I digress.
Please take Sean Payton out of Dallas from next year, so that's fine. So my 5 tiers of being a pure wrestler as follows: technique, technical skills in the ring, selling and making your opponent look good. 3, ring awareness, knowing where you are at all times in the ring. Dice, you know how important that is to me. We've been friends for far too long. All right. Number 4, there's a name for it. It's called being a safe worker. Keep them safe. Which is ironic because someone on the list got somebody hurt, but think about that. It's still important though. Okay. Number 5, entertaining. Do people like your style of wrestling and your matches? Do they deliver? Hold that thought. We'll be right back here on Unpopular Views, the Mike Knoxxx Show, Perfect Plex Talk Radio, and that man is back today, people. We'll be right back.
Have a match that was supposed to happen but didn't happen. So Kaden and Katana come out, and then we have Nikita who comes out, and then out of nowhere the cameraman collapses, or so we thought. Nikita was hit in the knee by Zoe Stark.
I'm gonna get ready to say some Grand Poobah stuff. Nikita comes out and Zoe attacks her, right? Why was it that it was like 6 stomps for Kaden and Katana, Katana to go like, yo, we need to help our partner. Whoa! Why did it take 6 stomps? Zoe Stark. Is she really a bully? Yeah. I think she was doing justice. I think she stole them.
You think that Kaden and Katana are terrible people because they didn't want to help Nikita from being attacked by Zoe, who you say is not a bad person, but they had a reason. Which is it?
At the end of the day, Jade says she makes the calls when it comes to the baddies. Hogan's out. And the other ones need to step it up, or they can get to step it. And the only other thing about this is, and I kind of feel like it is a bit of a blight, a bit of a stain on this whole situation. What are we doing with Bow Wow? Why is Bow Wow in the mix? Leave him in the early 2000s, please. Like this is going to culminate in Bow Wow getting between the ropes. And I don't know if I want to see it, if we're being honest. And I know she keeps getting in his face, but it's kind of giving like weird stalker vibes.
I want to see it if it involves Jay just like pump kicking him in the chest and then that being over.
I understood why Jay was getting mad. If it's about competition, and Jordan a lot of times says it's about competition. Yeah. So he picks and chooses when he wants it to be the challenge. What's the challenge anyway? So all of that's encompassing. So don't play both sides of how to play the game, Jordan. And that's one of the things about Jordan I never liked about him is that if it's about the competition, Jay had every right to be complaining and bitching like, shut up then. Let me hear what it's like but also this is what they do all the time. When you're in there, they're helping who they want to help. Mm-hmm. So it's a catch-22.
Exile, I believe. And they would like have them do the challenges away from people.
Yes, I missed those. And they would come back.
I think they need to bring that back because while I still think that Horacio and Olivia is a very, very strong team, it looks bad that 2 of their wins and eliminations, the peanut gallery has helped them significantly.
Yeah. One more time, people. Being a pure wrestler does not, nor does it take away from your ability of being a sports entertainer wrestler, but it is the master of the squared circle. My 5 tiers of a pro wrestler is as follows. Number 1, technical skills.
Real quick. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. I'll wait till you're done. Go ahead.
Technical skills, number 1. Number 2, ring, selling, making your opponent look good. Number 3, ring awareness, know where you are at all times. Number 4, there's a name for people called safe worker. Are you a safe worker? Number 5, entertaining. Do people like your style of wrestling and your matches? Do they deliver? Question.
Okay. Does What's the 5 categories again? Because I feel like my question is about to be answered.
The 5 tiers: technique, ring ability, wing awareness. Do you sell in the ring, or you're good up, or you make your opponents look good? Number 3, ring awareness. Number 4, are you a safe worker? And number 5, do people find your matches entertaining?
Okay, so I am not basing that off of entertaining of the match, right? Like the match doesn't mean anything to me.
Let me interrupt you for one moment, if you don't mind. For instance,
Okay.
I just give a spoiler. Dean Malenko's on my list, and I've never liked a Dean Malenko match in my entire life. So there's a plus and right. So there's a plus and a minus for what that means. That's why I wanted to be predicated when I say that. But it says, do people like your style of wrestling, and are your matches entertaining, and do they deliver? His matches deliver. I've seen Malenko against all the greats, the Mysterios, the Eddie Guerreros, the Jerichos. Still not a guy. I still thought he was boring. So does that help answer that question?
Not really, because all right, so you got a guy like that, but you're saying like I'm not looking at the opponent. I don't care about the match. I'm looking at that person's technique. I'm looking at how they perform their moves. I don't care how they sell. The movement in which they take care of their opponent matters to me. I don't care about the entertainment factor. Yes, that's a cherry on top for me. However, that's not what I look for, and this is one of the biggest discrepancies when we talk Charlotte Flair versus Natty, right? Like Natty,
Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
I forgot. God damn it! You would think that I would remember that by now. That's one of the things, right? Like part of Charlotte's persona is the fact that she can be a character, or she can out wrestle. But Natty can out wrestle. She can't be a character.
But see this, but to that exact reason, what you're saying there is why they both would be in a conversation for me for that, because Natty is one of the most purest wrestlers of all, if not somewhere in the top 1, 2, 3 category, right? Just throwing it out there right away, right? But I would still have Charlotte on that list, probably somewhere like 10 or 9. You know what I'm saying? But they both would still qualify for that. I think we lost you for a second there, Dice. So. Coming back, so don't have you. So, and again, this is my list. I think you should have a criteria for your lists when you make them stand out so people can understand why you put that sentence together. It is just stuck there. So for right now, Dice, I'm gonna take you off screen until I see you moving backstage. I can't do you like that, brother. You are literally just frozen. So again, and I'm gonna put this list out there at number 10. Let me get some questions first. Yes, I'm referring to King and Knox. Yes, the Eagles are going. What? Okay, there you go with that. George, thought we were friends, man. Thought you was a Knoxxer. Okay. I might have to disagree with you with your list. Let's see it. Okay. Okay. I don't expect everybody to lists are what they are. Just make sure you understand why you have yours, brothers. Okay. What's good, my brother? What's going on? So here you go. I mean, listen, that's another person we're missing right there. Scorpio Sky is definitely missing. So number 10 on this list is a tie for me, right? Because I think beautiful Bobby Eaton is one of the greatest in-ring wrestlers to ever grace a squared circle. You can ask every one of his peers. You can ask the people that worked with him. When he did single matches, he was a champion. He did tag team matches, he was a champion. From the Midnight Express to Lord Steven Regal and those guys, beautiful Bobby Eaton at number 10 fits everything about this, as I say. At number 10, tied with him at number 10, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Some would say he's never had a bad match. I would say the benefit of him, like a lot of other greats, is that he was really before his time. He is so good in that squared circle in every aspect of the inside the squared circle, and this dragon persona kept him where he's at for many, many, many years. So at number 10, tied with 10, I have, that man, beautiful Bobby Eaton and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Number 9 on this list. We talked about the 5 tiers. I have Brock Lesnar. People don't really respect this man as a technical prowler. The only reason why Bobby Lashley's not on this list is because the WWE doesn't let us see what Bobby Lashley can actually really do. But we've got a chance to see what Brock Lesnar can do. And he is actually the only big man on this list. And yes, Brock Lesnar is considered a big man. At number 8, Randall Keith Orton. I mention it all the time, how his grace in the ring. We talked about, too big too soon. The difference between him and MJF is that this man has always been that great in the ring. MJF is a great character. Randy Orton is a great wrestler. That's the difference. Randy Orton at number 8. Number 7. And I'm mad, and I apologize. At number 7, I know I got this stupid man's picture. There it is. All right. At number 7, and tied at number 7, the guy I just mentioned that I didn't like too much, Mr. Dean Malenko. A man of a thousand holds. I mean, what couldn't he do? I don't know. He couldn't entertain me. Look at his face.
Grow.
And he couldn't grow. Okay. And at tied number 7, and I talked about this and I debated this. He doesn't get any credit. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. But if you look at it from an N-squared ring persona, he's
a performer.
He's more than a performer, though. That man can do holds. You have to go to when you go to the 60-man minute match with him and Bret Hart, you will see what I'm referring to. Shawn Michaels tied at number 7.
I got it. That's a great match. That's a great match.
But there's more than just that match. That's just the match I point out.
Okay, I got you. But I would literally, referring back, right? If we're just talking pure pro wrestler, you say you're intercede somebody there. Okay, go ahead. I would take AJ Styles before I take HBK, just from a pure pro wrestler, right? But if we're talking overall package, I would take HBK. Only because we didn't really get a chance to see AJ as a performer,
and I think
late in his TNA career.
AJ love you have for AJ is probably the love that I have for HBK being here. And AJ could be in this top 10. I think they're 1 and 1A. I think you don't have an AJ without somebody like Shawn Michaels.
He could be in my top 10 or outside of it.
Yeah, that's just me. But number 6, I have Randy Macho Man Savage. You have to understand in what we're referring to, people. We're not talking just Greco-Roman wrestling. It's still professional wrestling. Okay? There's a reason why you have Randy Orton on this list, while I have someone like Beautiful Bobby on this list. Okay? Someone like people have him here. All right? A lot of people have him in every list you go check has him here. Every list really has him here. It's just where they placed him. I have him at number 6, the Macho Man Randy Savage. I have tied with him, because it's a tie. It's my list, and I have 2 ties. This is my 2 ties. At number 6 with him, ironically enough, the reason why I got Slammy Awards right there, that picture.
What?
Owen Hart at 6.
I'm writing this down as you go along, so I can give you a combatant with everyone. But go ahead. I do.
6.
Oh gosh.
At number 5, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan Danielson, however you want to. At number 4, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig.
Oh my God.
We're talking about professional wrestling, people. What that means is when you're in that ring, I dare you, and I say this with you openly on this program. I dare you to tell me when it comes to what you love in wrestling. I know you. Being good in that squared circle matters. Okay.
I'm a suplex guy.
Watching certain things or watching but watching how you go to Steiner Brothers, right? I love them, right? Because those guys, you talking about suplexes, everything was calculating. That's why Bret Hart calculating, Kurt Angle's, like these guys, moves that are when you watch Randy Orton, he's calculating in his moves. Okay, that's part of professional wrestling.
He had to learn that, though. He did, and that's what. But I mean,
that's what with fine wine.
Yeah.
With fine wine.
That was a great slowdown. He became cerebral
at that point. You're right. Number 3, and I battled this up until I made the pictures.
Bret Hart.
At number 3, I have Eddie Guerrero.
Wow, I am bamboozled.
I had and because
I did not see that.
And because I really there's such an argument for putting him number 2. But I think Bret deserves to be at number 2.
Then we know what number 1 is.
And of course, number 1, Kurt Angle.
The greatest.
Everything
Exactly.
that embodies my list, he has, and he covers all the check boxes from 1 through 5, and he's the 5-point star at all of them. No 5-point mics and lists like that, but I go through it again. The number 1 pure wrestler of all time, Kurt Angle. Number 2, Bret the Hitman Hart. Number 3, Eddie Guerrero. Number 4, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. Number 5, Daniel Bryant. Number 6, the Macho Man Randy Savage, tied with Owen Hart. At number 7, Shawn Michaels, tied with the Man of 1,000 Holes. But damn it, you're right. He checks out of the boxes. He just didn't entertain me.
Why you hitting the bored voice
4.
with it, though?
Because he was bored. Okay. Number 8, Randy Orton. Number 9, this was the only one I think you might want to be controversial, but I'm here for any argument for him, and that's Brock Lesnar. I think it's warranted. I think it's very warranted. And you ask someone like Kurt Angle. And then number 10, he seems to make a lot of my lists, so maybe there's some favoritism here. Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
I've seen Beautiful Bobby Eaton on at least 4 of your lists. That's the Personas list, the Greatest Villains list.
I don't think it was on
this list.
This list. Him and Barry Windham.
And there's another one. I think he was in the top factions list, right? He's in 4 lists. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna go back in the year review.
And tie with him at number 10 is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And again, let me just say this real fast. In all seriousness, our prayers and thoughts are out with Barry Windham. He is in intensive care right now. Suffered a massive heart attack in Atlanta airport. They got him home. That's some kind of surgery that takes some money. So our prayers and shout out to him. Again, talk about lists, talking about people being on my list. Barry Windham's always on that list for me. But again, make your list, check it twice, make sure it has a foundation. But you're gonna insert excerpt here, not necessarily disagree, but where you would replace one and add one. Go ahead.
I'm not even going to lie to you. As much as a fan of Orton I didn't even have him in a pure wrestler list, right? Because Orton's when I think of pure wrestling, I think of your holds. I don't think your how you calculate your moves. I think of how you move in the ring, how you can reverse, how you can suplex, how you can, slam somebody, in which I think Orton has a top 3 best power slam ever I've seen in professional wrestling. The way he snaps that power slam, one of the best. But I just didn't have him on my list. He'd be an honorable mention, right? Steamboat at 10. I think Steamboat deserves a little bit more.
But he makes your list.
It
doesn't matter what number you put him at, but he's a top 10.
I would put Steamboat around 7.
Fair.
I will put Steamboat around 7.
Fair. So you say take Randy out. So who you putting in for Randy?
So for Randy, I'm putting in
Steamboat that slot, or
I'm moving AJ. I will put AJ as an honorable mention. He could go at a 10. He showed that you can do power. He showed that he can flip around. He showed you that he can do suplexes and everything. He showed you he can do submissions. I feel like you have those 4. That's pure. I feel like that is pure to me. So he could be there.
Outside of submissions, everybody on my list, minus Beautiful Bobby Eaton, can do submissions. So thank you for that one. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels cut. Well, shit. All right, Shawn Michaels don't count. Does the sleeping finger?
I don't think that Brock Lesnar is a better pure wrestler than Shelton Benjamin. So I'm going to take Brock Lesnar out.
I think they're equal, and I'm going to tell you why I think that's so horribly wrong. Because one is a national champion for pure wrestling from the same school as Shelton Benjamin is.
Same school, yep.
So, when he first came in, he wrestled that way, and that's why him and Kurt Angle match is so great.
I got an honorable mention. I wanted to put him on this list, but I just knew that it wouldn't be that way. And it was one of the first people. It was one of the first people I text you, and I said Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, you put that there, and I just couldn't do it for the simple fact of, as much as I love him, and you know that I do. Pause. There's honorable for that. I it's not far from the list. It's definitely an honorable mention. 100% is Dolph Ziggler.
Okay, so I
had a lot of feedback from a lot of people on this list. I had people saying Bob Backlund. I was like, I just couldn't do it there. I just can't. Bruno San Martino, I couldn't do there. I had some Chad Gables in there. I had he should be on this list. Lord Voldemort. Okay, we know what he's done, but in that squared circle, Mr. Whatever, Dynamite.
So if I'm taking Steamboat,
Lance Storm should be, is an honorable mention.
Was great, but
Lance was great. Okay,
he'd be a top 20 for me.
But I'm still not putting nobody that I named outside of, there's some AJ's in there. I think is a question. I think, you name somebody else.
Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin should be. But my thing is that when I look at Shelton, I look at Brock. Brock's a bigger guy, stronger guy, more powerful guy, same kind of skills. Which is they portrayed their skills from WWE's perspective to us differently. One was in a team with Team Angle, so they showed that kind of wrestling skill. Where Brock Lesnar could have easily fit with them and been part of the Varsity Club 2.0. You know what I mean? And that's what you said when you want to put someone like the dog-faced gremlin in there. Arn Anderson. You said Arn, not Arn, but you were like 3 people actually said Arn Anderson to me. And I think Arn's that good as well. But we look at Arn again is not known as a technical prowling wrestler, but he's a good professional in the ring. Again, I like guys that when I watch them wrestle, they know where the ropes are. They know where the steps are to the way. They don't have
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because I know where you feel about how he is regarded as one of the greatest of all time. And I've looked at least 7 lists, right, from different sources. Jericho was in the top 10 of most of these lists.
I saw that.
So where would you put Jericho at? If he was in the top 20, what number between 10 and 20 would you put him? Because obviously he's not in your top 10.
I would have to think about it off that list, somewhere between 15 and 20. And I'm gonna tell you why. There's nothing wrong, and it's not about me liking Jericho or not. And I had Vaughn brought up Jericho. I had somebody else inbox me of Jericho, and I just don't see him going above any of those guys on my list. That it's like at some point nobody's wrong. It's just where you're stacking them.
I get it. I would say that as well. But if we're talking about greatest performers, he'd be in my top 10. If we're talking performers, right?
Right.
We're talking wrestlers.
Right. We're talking wrestlers.
And I've never seen a great Chris Jericho wrestling match. I've seen a good match.
I have.
I mean, the Jericho, the Lionheart shit.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, the Lionheart shit. Yeah, but if you take the Lionheart shit that he did in the late 90s in WCW, as opposed to everything that you know about wrestling, because you've been watching wrestling at least 10 years more than me, right? Is there anywhere that you're going to put a Jericho match in your top 10 or top 15?
For me, that's not fair, because to me, because the moment matters where the match takes place to me. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of his best matches happen on like WCW Nitro.
WCW.
Yeah. So for that, I can't say in WWEF have I seen a tremendous, it's different kind of wrestling.
Okay, so moving on with your list, because I know we're running short on time right now. So I'm taking Brock out to put Shelton in, but I'm bumping that at 10.
Okay.
Steamboat is moving to 7, right? So now at number 9, I'm going to go with, I would put Dean Malenko at number 9. So now I have an 8 slot filled. I have an 8 slot that's open. I will put Scott Steiner or Rick Steiner, either one of them. I think Scott's the better mat wrestler, but I think that
Rick's way better than
Rick is the better.
Rick is a better wrestler.
Actually, I got that wrong. I think Rick's the better mat wrestler. Scott is the better overall wrestler. Like, he can do a little bit of everything. Like, he had the Frankensteiner. Yeah, he was big as shit doing a Hurricanrana, now that they call it, but a Frankensteiner. So I think that you could put either one of them there.
He would do it in
number 8. So number 7 for me, I'm going to put a Daniel Bryan there.
Okay.
number 6, I just didn't think of Macho Man as a technical guy. And that's nothing to get Macho. I love Macho, but
his match with Ricky Steamboat, which I know I always bring that one match up, is the greatest match in WrestleMania history to me as far as
I think so. I think so as well.
And I think it's the blueprint for, and I think that match, the reason why I always point that match out, because it demonstrates how great he was inside that squared circle, right? Like even the matches, and Derek brought it up, the matches that Macho Man had with Ted DiBiase were amazing in-ring matches. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like the early Macho Man and Bret Hart matches, like these Macho Man is just there. Go ahead, because guys, I'm gonna have to do the year in review. This was probably gonna be my last show of the year, so I'll make it next year. Next week will be my last show. We'll do the year in review right then and there on the year in wrestling. Go ahead.
Where I'm at 6, Macho Man. Macho Man had a great persona, right? But and I'm probably just is my biasness, right? My biasness. I would, if we're talking wrestling, pure wrestling, I would. You know what? I would keep Macho Man there, and I would raise you a Sting to be number 6.
I don't see how you can put Sting on that list and then question anybody else I have on the list.
No. I'm just saying I've watched a lot of suplexes, a lot of submissions from Sting. So you got a guy like HBK. I didn't see a lot of suplexes, submissions from HBK, although I know that he has that.
I can't see Sting as that. I'm just saying, if you can't see Macho Man, how can you see Sting? That's all.
But I just said I would if 1A, 1B. What, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to take him out because I feel like it's disrespectful to the Macho Man.
No.
But I don't want to say that Sting hasn't been one of the best. If you want to put pure and technical are two different things, but people align pure with technical.
Right. They're one and the same. They're one and the same in the other.
That's what I'm thinking about when I think of that. I think that Owen Hart, you got him at 6. I put him at 5 because I'm moving Daniel Bryan to 7.
Okay.
Mr. Perfect, I'm putting him at 3.
Okay. Whoa.
Owen Hart, I'm moving him to 2.
Okay.
Bret Hart, I'm moving him to 4.
Okay.
And Kurt Angle, I'm moving him to 1. I'm taking Eddie Guerrero out at 3.
You're moving him off the list completely for your list?
I don't think that Eddie Guerrero is I mean,
I got you.
For everything that I've seen of Eddie Guerrero, everything that I know of Eddie Guerrero, until he got big, right? I didn't think of him as a wrestler, right? He's a luchador, right? I just didn't think of him as, you know what I'm saying? He just came back, he was jacked the fuck up, like you know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't think of him I didn't think of him as a wrestler. I thought of him as a luchador, you know. So I think Kurt Angle, Owen Hart.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Kurt Angle, Owen Hart,
sorry, bro.
Mr. Perfect are my top 3.
You're listening to the Soul and Sports with Mike Knoxxx and the crew.
So my top 3 are Kurt Angle, Mr. Perfect, Owen Brett, and then Owen Brett. Where's my 5? I don't even know what my 5 is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. My top 3 is Kurt. My top 3 is Kurt, Owen Brett, and Mr. Perfect. Owen Brett is whoever you like better. I think that Owen was a better pure wrestler, but I think that Brett was a better performer in his character until late in Owen's career when he did the I am not a nugget but other than that, I mean,
again, nothing against your list.
It's very subjective.
Nothing against your list other than putting in.
But this is off the top. I didn't have time to think about this. Like you had time to think about this. So other than Sting, I have nothing. I have a pick on that. Listen, I just wanted to put. You know, I got to put one of my favorites in there. I don't give a shit.
You put AJ in there. I'm lost in that. But again,
and plus I got to show TNA some love. So people think TNA is shit. So I always got to put a TNA person in there.
There is the rumor that your boy Eric Young's coming back. Which why does he come? Like why does he need? I don't.
Because Nikki Cross
he's
needs
putting
help.
Sandy back together.
If he does, I think he'll do it the right way because there was nothing wrong with Sanity and NXT.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on, guys. Tonight we will have Raw. Raw is from DC. It is the Usos. I believe I saw. The Usos I saw versus
Usos versus Elias
and Riddle. That tonight. So we'll be back then next week.
We already know what it is.
Thank you for coming back on for this episode.
Listen, I appreciate it. Listen, As soon as you text me, I text you back probably like the fastest I've ever. I was like, I miss it. I miss the action. Let's do it. Like, this is cool. I love it. I love you guys. Like, thank you for the messages and the comments and all that. Like, this is cool. 2023 is going to be crazy. A lot of big plans, a lot of rebranding, a lot of brand building, you know? So we're just trying to get this money in 2023. It's a lot of money be out here. These Facebook reels, these TikTok reels, all this shit. Give me my 3 cents per view. I don't give a shit. Let me be a brand. Let me be a brand. Let me get you some of this merchandise I got out here. I got too many shirts sitting in my goddamn closet right now. You know, get you a
I got 20 pressed right now, ready to go. 20 of them right now. Check it out, y'all. Listen. We got it here. Listen, thank you, Dice, for being here. As always, my brother, my pal, my friend. Listen, guys, make sure, again, real fast what we got here, because this list is important to me. Bring, I'm sorry, my goddamn glasses. Y'all told y'all I'm old. Y'all hear them laughing. All right. Shit. Plus, it's far away. Being a pro wrestler does not, nor does it take away from your ability of a sports entertainment wrestler, but to be the master of the squared circle. There's 5 tiers to this list. Number 1, technical skills. Number 2, in the ring, selling, making you or your opponent look good. Number 3, ring awareness, know where you are at all times in that squared circle, the master of the universe and the world. Number 4, being a safe worker. That's the name. That's what they call it. Entertaining. Number 5, entertaining. Do people find your style of wrestling and or your matches, do they deliver? All right, real fast, we got it here. Number 1 of all time, Kurt Angle. Number 2, Bret Hart. Number 3, Eddie Guerrero. Number 4, Kurt Angle. Number 5, that man right there. Oh, that man right there, Daniel Bryan. Number 5, Randy Macho Man. Number 7, number 6, Owen Hart, tied with Macho Man. Number 6, number 7, Bret Hart. Tied with Bret Hart. Shawn Michaels. Tied with Shawn Michaels, Dean Malenko. Number 8, Randy Orton. Number 9, Brock Lesnar. Number 10, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and beautiful Bobby Eaton. That's my guy. Maybe I favoritism. I don't know. But listen, guys, we're going to get up out of here. I got to feed my kids, and my kids want to feed me. I'm doing this intermediate fasting. I lost some weight. I'm doing my journey. I'm following it. Because my wife, she gets on my damn nerves. She's like, show everybody. If you show them how fat you are now and you lose your weight, then they'll like your journey. And she's probably right. But I'm not going to show y'all till I got my body right. All right?
Take the shirt off. Take the shirt off again.
I did it once before. I'm not going to do it again. Okay? So listen, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Listen, as always, next week, we will do the year in wrestling review. The whole show will be that. No weekend wrestling. I'm not going to lie. We talk a little bit about it, right? But it's going to be the year in review. How this year passes by. What's up to come. What we lost. What we missed. Vaughn will be back here next week. He's gone into DC along with the Wrestling Marks of Excellence, nephew Corey, Mo_Eaton, and all those guys. Listen, guys, listen. Do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, I love me some me, and don't love God. That's crazy. And don't be a sellout like Prime Time.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's because he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? We about to give y'all something special.